In this video, we're talking about influencer marketing strategy. A couple years ago, before I started working with joint venture partners, before I started working with influencers on our marketing strategies for our clients, I literally sat in a group of marketers and said, the only problem in my business is that I need a hype squad. It's not the way it works, guys. But today I'm going to show you the secrets to having and building that hype squad, those influencers who can get your message out to a much wider audience because they've already spent the time cultivating that community. So we're going to talk about that in today's video because today is all about getting other people to sell your stuff. You have to know what matters or you're going to drown. We're going to talk about why when it comes to influencers, the biggest isn't necessarily the best. And we're going to talk about the nitty-gritty little details. Stay tuned. In the world of influencer marketing, if you don't know what your metrics are, if you don't know what numbers to be looking for, you're going to drown. You're going to waste a ton of money and you're not going to see the impact and conversions that you were hoping for in the first place. So the very first thing you need to do before you even consider getting into influencer marketing or approaching any influencers for your campaigns is to make sure that you document your goals. The three big areas that you can focus on, pick one of them, is you can first increase your brand awareness. This means you're not necessarily looking for conversions into sales, but you're looking for your brand and your company and your message and your movement to be shared with a wider audience. This is going to place your brand at top of mind of more potential customers. So this would be at the widest end of your funnel. Then the next goal that you could have is to attract new customers. So from that wide pool of people who recognize your brand, who are those who are most likely to become your customers? That's where you want to see conversions from platform to platform or from profile to profile. So you're able to move those potential customers who not only recognize your brand, but now are interested in purchasing your product. You're going to move them from the platform of your influencer and they are going to then start following you as well. That would be a conversion into your world, which is exciting. And the third way is to actually get them to take action and opt into your stuff. That means they recognize that you have value that they want. So they're going to go out of their way to provide you with that contact information so you can follow up with them and provide them with that opt-in, that freebie, that ebook, that training, that checklist, whatever it is that is of value to them, that is going to help them bridge that mental gap so that they can then see themselves on the other side as paying customers. Super exciting. Now, if you want to become a customer without having to pay whatsoever, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. Join us here on the channel. We got new videos for you every week all about influence, authority, and income online. Now, before you start approaching your influencers, you have to do your big brainstorm. So step number one to coming up with what influencers you're going to work with is I want you to do a giant brain dump of all of the influencers you think are talking to your audience. Then I want you to divide them up into three different categories. Influencers come in these three different categories, and that's why I say biggest isn't always the best. So here are the three categories, from biggest to smallest. So at the very biggest, we have celebrities. So these have been our influencers for years. These are people who have cultivated huge audiences because of something else they do. Maybe they're a musician, maybe they're an athlete, maybe they're an actor or an actress, maybe they're a filmmaker. I'm really stuck in this filmmaking world right now in my head. But anyways, celebrities are people who have these huge audiences. When you have that big of a platform, you can charge people for your time, you can charge people for access to your audience, and so on and so forth. So as a brand that's reaching out to influencers in the celebrity sphere, you're looking at big money contracts. You're looking at paying a pretty penny. But the downside to these celebrity groups, even though, yes, they reach a huge audience, they aren't a targeted audience necessarily. Not at the celebrity level, at least. So it might not be the best way to get those conversions and lead gen, but it could be a great platform to get more brand awareness. So again, looking back at what our goals are will also help us determine which level of influencer we're going to be reaching out to. Now, the next level down in the world of influencers would be macro influencers. These are our social media influencers that you see, the names that keep popping up. I'm not going to drop any now because I don't want to have to pay anyone to drop their names. But you're going to start seeing people who have really substantial followings on whatever platform that they're on. They've cultivated a loyal following. And sometimes these people can be rather niched, but not too niched. So the benefit to them is they're kind of in the middle. They're great for both brand awareness on one end and for those lead conversions if you're able to find an influencer who has niched down really well with their audience. And the third level of influencer are our micro influencers. These people have between 1,000 and 100,000 followers. They have very small followings relative to our giant celebrities with millions of followers, right? But the benefit, the huge benefit to using these micro influencers is the fact that they are so niched down with their audience that you will be more likely to, if you can find a micro influencer who's connected to your ideal customer, you are more likely to see that conversion into a sale with those micro influencers than you will with macro or with celebrity influencers. So write down your big brainstorm of all of the influencers you can think of who are talking to your people, then split them up into their celebrities, their macros, and their micros, and that will give you a better game plan of how to go get your message out to your people through those influencers. Now, I'm curious, who are the influencers that you are following? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know also if you would put them in the category of celebrity, of macro, or of micro. Let's start building a database. Now, how do we actually do it? How do we reach out to these influencers? Well, there's a variety of different ways. First, my favorite way is the Dream 100 strategy. So what you're going to do is with that list of influencers that you'd like to reach out to, I want you to start connecting to their communities. Engage in their communities, follow them on socials, connect in the comments, get your name out there as someone who is a fan of their content. Then what you're going to do once you started to build that brand awareness, right? Your name's going to start popping up a little bit more. Then you're going to serve some value. So that value can be anything from, my favorite thing to do is to send lumpy mail, to send packages in the mail that aren't little letters that really draw people's attention. You can also send cool packages. I know a friend of mine went to a conference where her Dream 100 was speaking, and she had this custom-made box that had this whole pop-up story situation. It was a very memorable piece of physical content that definitely grabbed the attention of her Dream 100 member, who has then gone on to do some pretty awesome joint ventures with her. So reach out to your Dream 100. I think that is a fantastic idea. The next way you can do this, if you want to do the least amount of work, let's go in an extreme now, is to connect with an agency. There are plenty of agencies that will connect brands to influencers. They have a giant database of the influencers. They already split them up into their different categories. And it's pretty amazing when you get to that level that you're able to just hand off all of that work to an agency. They do the hard legwork. They find you those connections. And they deal back and forth with the influencer, and you don't have to do very much at all. Now, if you're just starting out, the number one strategy I want you to follow when it comes to connecting to influencers is I want you to start with your followers. I want you to start with your followers. Literally ask them, who are they following? Who are they influenced by? Because if your followers are already the people who are ready to buy your product, they are the people who are your ideal clients already, why not just ask them what they're already into? And that way you can go find more people who are into that same kind of stuff and bring them into your community. So there are no excuses. You can't be like me sitting back years ago saying, I just want a hype squad. You need to be tactful. You need to be intentional with your connection to your influencers. I love it. And this is just one of the topics that we dive into in Live Academy. And I want you guys to join us. The very, very first step is to join us for the camera confidence training. It's a whole week of confidence and conversions. And we're going to show you not only how to sell on video, but we're going to start from the very basics, from hitting that first record button, from recording your very first video, all the way up to building hundreds and hundreds of followers in your world. It's so exciting. So I want you guys to join us for that. Click the links down below. Join us for confidence and conversions. It starts on Monday. Super excited for that one. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for this video. Make sure you check out these ones. And until I see you again, my friends, remember, I love you. Be excellent to each other.